Tarnation TV is the YouTube channel, and you are watching it. Congratulations. You found the qualifying race for the End Gun Violence 100. What is that, you ask?
That's right. What is it? Yes, please.
So the End Gun Violence 100, every year we hold a little main event for Canon HINNANT, and Brian Wolf always puts these things together. So the race, he has 20 drivers that have committed to the race on the 23rd of September. So in a couple more weeks on a Saturday at the normal time of 9 o'clock p.m. You can join us then for the main event, which will be a full-blown race with multiple pit stops and all that other good stuff. Tonight, on the other hand, I need to fill in the last 10 spots. So that's what we're doing. We've got about 15 to 20 cars right now getting ready to race. This will be a 19-lap race, super short broadcast today. But this will finalize the field for the main event on Saturday. Are you excited? Because I'm excited.
Super excited. I can't wait.
It's always fun.
I mean, I'll wait, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like, I can't wait. I'm like, well, you're going to have to.
This isn't pleasing.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So, yeah, I believe what Brian said was there will be 10 guys that will be able to make it out of this race into that main event that's coming up on the 23rd. And then we were going to use this short little 19-lap broadcast to basically as a commercial. We'll use it as a little bit of an advertisement. So there you go. The End Gun Violence qualifying sessions. Welcome to the broadcast. TarnationTV.com. And of course, Talladega Nights Racing League hosting this. Brian Wolf unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening, but Brad and I got this thing handled.
Not a problem.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Everything's all right there. Probably just got, mauled by a bunch of pretty ladies on the way home from work. It's like, oh no, too many good-looking women to deal with all at once, and then that happens sometimes.
You know what?
Get busy, get tied up.
As a couple of handsome guys like us, we know the feeling.
Right, trying to mow your lawn in peace. Good luck.
I'm just trying to mow the grass.
Exactly. Look, I can't help that my calves are naturally this pale.
Yeah, exactly.
They hit the sun and then they catch their eye. Look out.
Speaking of mowing the grass, there's the number 28 car of Mark Pagulas, sponsored by Lawnmowers? No. That was almost a good segue.
That was almost, but we don't almost do anything good here. We almost consistently missed. Speaking of lawnmowers, here's the Pepsi car.
Right. Driven by Robert Breedlove. Tonight is the Shake and Bake finale, so we could talk about upcoming broadcasts on the Tarnation TV schedule. Join us next Thursday, September 7th. The I'm on Fire series, season number 1, comes to an end, dude. Championship race.
The final race. We got four in the chase to see who is going to be the victor for the season. Last week's race was crazy. It was anybody's race for the first 3 quarters, and then once that wreck happened, then that separated the pack, and I think that was pretty much sealed the fate for the first 4 drivers that got in.
Yeah, and it was pretty much cut and dry because that, as we all know, Talladega? Sounds like a breakfast sandwich. Talladega is such a cool track because it's 2.66 miles, super speedway, restrictor plate racing. We're using Craftsman Truck Series physics here, so the cars are a little bit slower. So there's technically no restrictor plates. They just don't have as much power as the cars. Either way, it is an awesome track, and anything can happen. We've had races end with absolute catastrophes where every single car almost gets in an accident. We've had races come down to fuel mileage. We've had races go green the entire way. And those green flag pit stops string the whole field out. Like, it's just always entertaining. You never know what's going to happen. So tonight's no different. This is a short qualifying race, but these guys are going to be racing to get into that main event on the 23rd. So as you can see there on the schedule, the Canon HINNANT End Gun Violence, the 23rd of September. And that's a big race. And this one be a 19 laps with a 3X on the fuel frequency. It forced these guys to pit at least once.
Yeah, one pit stop, tires won't be an issue unless you have some catastrophic happen, lock up of the brakes.
Yeah, and to keep this race going, hey, Brian Wolf just entered the room. What's up, man?
Sorry I'm late, man. I was waiting for you to finish up there. Sorry about that, man. I had some issues after work today, and I made it.
All right,
Good.
that's it. We were texting you, and I just saw you pop in the room. So yeah, let it rip. We got but a minute before we go green, so we'll let you do some talking.
Yep.
All right, man. Thanks, and hello, Brad. Sorry, guys. I'm having some health issues, so I might not talk that much. Just to say what this is.
Okay.
We've decided that we didn't have 12 drivers show up, actually, that are eligible. So we're going to let everybody race that's here tonight, and we'll take the ones that are not locked in and put those in the race for the 23rd.
Ah, okay,
And then
cool.
if there's any spots left over, we'll hand pick them or we'll vote or something like that.
So the goal for the 23rd is 30 cars?
Yes, that's it.
Cool.
If we don't make 30, that's fine, but I wanted to limit it to 30.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Yeah, 3X tonight, 19 laps, force these guys to pit at least once. And the all kinds of stuff in the works behind the scenes. You got, like, are you in cahoots with the family again this year?
I am. In fact, I just talked to Ellie. Well, I left her a message today. She's contributing. And we've got some other surprises for the 23rd that you and I will talk about between now and then.
Ah, cool. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Always a lot of people watch these things. These special events, they get a lot of hits. And we're using this super short little race to basically, we'll use it as a commercial.
Right. If you remember, Greg Palmer raced last year. He raced Cannon's Crocs, camouflage Crocs car.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's eligible for this tonight, whoever comes across the line first, will drive that car on the 23rd.
Oh, sweet.
It's kind of a special thing. It has there's a lot of meaning behind it. Crocs was the thing that Cannon wore, and so we keep this kind of geared towards him. You know what I mean? So we got all the superhero cars and his favorite foods and his Crocs and all kinds of good stuff.
You should see Brad's closet. He's got, like, what is it, 62, 63 different kinds of Crocs?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know they say that's why they're so cheap, but I love them. Keep my toes from stinking. I've got some dress up ones in case I got to go to, like, a business casual thing. I've got some ones that, like, are black, like, leather Crocs. But yeah, no, I can't get enough. Honestly, it's my next to Beanie Babies. It's my favorite collecting thing.
I've got a pair around here somewhere, and I don't know where they are. And it's kind of sad because they are, like, the greatest thing ever when you're working, like, the garage or something, or down in the basement. Like, just slip them on and go, man.
Like,
who knew that would be a
thing? You want to pretend that you're Dutch, but you want to be comfortable. You don't have to wear clogs. You can just wear the Crocs.
Maybe we just bring clogs back.
You know what I miss? Wooden shoes.
Yeah.
Said nobody ever.
Yeah, that's what I really could use right now, some wooden shoes. Yeah, man. So, like, this race, too, tonight, we're piggybacking on top of the Shake and Bake series.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we were, half an hour ago, we were looking at 6 cars, and now it looks like there's about 20. So these guys come flooding in here last minute every time.
That's awesome. I was going to say, like, I wanted to ask you that, where we're at, because I saw 15 before, roughly, and then, so there we go. Getting full.
Yeah, it's climbing.
Going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one. This is exhibition. Again, no points or whatever, and it's just a qualifier for the 23rd, and that's a big event. I thought this would be, we'd get a little bit more attention on this, but this race was kind of last minute since we changed the format, and so they're going to race, and there's a little prize at the end, so we're going to be good.
Oh, right on. You got prizes for this one, or you got prizes for the main one?
Well, like I said, the winner gets to drive his Crocs car, and that's
right.
An important piece of Cannon's puzzle, and so that's it's an honor to do that. So that's going to be fun to watch for that.
Do we have Rodney Sullins on deck to change that number?
Yes, we do. Yep, and he's also changing a couple of cars that we handpicked. Zach Roberts, that young kid's come a long way in such a short time. He's a good kart racer, from what I understand. Just a top-notch kid all the way around, and he's safe to be around now. So we picked him to run the Iron Man car. Excuse me.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right on.
And let's see, my old car from last year, I think we're going to give that one up if somebody wants it. The Just for Canon, the orange and gray one that we drove last year. We might set that in as a throwback if somebody wants it. But I got a special car for this race, the Gun Violence 100. It's gonna be good. We always want to honor Canon. You know what I mean? I feel like I owe them a lot, and this is our way of giving back.
Yeah, and the superhero cars always look so cool because there's so many superheroes, and of course the color orange. That orange and silver car that you were driving last year was awesome.
Yeah, there's been some really cool paints. Superheroes was a big thing for Canon, and we'll see all those represented and all the things that Canon liked. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's an Oodles and Noodles car out there. I think Brad Otto drives that one, or because that was his thing. And the Hubba Bubba bubble tape gum, I think John Godfrey is going to honor us with that one. That was one of his favorite things. And then the park, actually, that they renovated, for Canon, is represented by Jeffrey Elliott.
Gillette, something.
Gillette Athletic Center. That's where, Canon like to go. And, we'll be telling all those stories next week. But, this is to honor him and have some fun at the same time, and just spread the word about gun violence. We need to put a stop to it. It's just out of hand, rampant through this country. It's it's an epidemic. It's a major health crisis. The stats have changed a little bit on that. The number one cause of death for kids 18 and under now is gun violence.
Is it really?
It is. 12 kids will be killed, every day from gun violence, and another 40 some will be injured due to gun violence. So we need to get those numbers down, man. It's crazy. And Canon, kind of started this whole thing for us. So I like to put his name on it. And then I have, once we get started in the race, I got another announcement too for him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a wild number, man. Like, up here in Canada, I mean, obviously you're allowed to have guns, but you got to go through a lot of paperwork. I think you got to have your FAC, which is a firearms acquisition license, and then there's a PAL, which is a personal one as well.
And there's there's a special license for restricted. Yeah, certain guns restricted.
And you even if one of your family members has like problems with mental health, they can refuse you to have a gun because they could get it.
Oh yeah, like interviews, to check your are you well? Are you you gotta have not just witnesses, but you gotta have people to vouch for you, basically, right? Yeah. I don't even have my pal yet, just because it sounds too much like work. I got my Red Ryder in case I need to take care of crows or raccoons. Right. Well, and even then, it only pisses the raccoons off. I've yet to get one. I don't think I can pump that thing enough times to get it full enough air to make a dent in their thick hide.
I think it's so wild in the States how you could just walk into Walmart and just walk out the other side fully armed and ready to rock with what? A driver's license? Do you guys have to provide any kind of...
I'm not positive what the laws are here. It's different from state to state as far as ownership and carrying and all that stuff. But bottom line is, I don't oppose guns. Not at all. I used to be an NRA member and all that stuff. But and we don't need to change the laws. We need to enforce the laws that are on the books. And I have another thing to say about that as well. But I don't want Canon to become another statistic. I want him to be the reason that we look at the statistics. If that makes any sense, I don't know. But, he kind of started this whole thing for me, and we've been on, I've been racing with him for going on 3 years now. And it's been a good ride. And finally, I think we brought him a championship, which is what I wanted for him.
Because the guy, we shouldn't even talk about the guy, but he finally went through all his court stuff, right?
Yes. In fact, he has been convicted. They did a plea deal for life without parole.
Okay.
And yeah, and I want to make it clear that the reason that the family agreed to that was that Cannon was actually, excuse me, Cannon was actually murdered in front of his two siblings and cousin, who were, I believe, 7 and 8, and I forget what the other one's age was at the time, but that's the reason that they agreed to that plea deal, so that they wouldn't go to open court and have to have the girls, his sisters, testify.
Oh wow, would they
yeah,
make that happen?
I don't know, but I mean that's the primary reason, so that they just wanted it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just get it over with, get them behind bars, and let them sit in there for the rest of the eternity.
They've got a lot of friends down there in North Carolina who are involved in law enforcement, and I've heard some things through Ellie, Cannon's aunt. You know her, and Archie, her husband, big supporters of my racing, and I've stayed close to them. They've been like a really nice conduit, bringing me closer to Cannon. I went down and visited them, and they were just so welcoming and so inviting, and just I was like royalty down there. And I happened to meet Cannon's mother on 1 year to the day that he passed. So it's been quite an experience. It's been heart-wrenching at times, and other times I feel like we've been victorious. And we do know that one thing that gives me a glimmer of hope, and I hope this gives anybody a glimmer of hope, that Cannon's killer will 100% for sure die in prison. We don't know when that will be, but he will never see the light of day again. And that gives me a glimmer of comfort, knowing that. But, we're about to go green here in a little bit.
Pretty soon.
Man, I'm so sorry I'm late. There was a lot that I wanted to get out, and I appreciate the time you're giving me, Blaine.
Oh, lots of time, man. We got the whole race.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys too, especially you, Blaine, for staying on board with me through Cannon's races. We like to do at least one a year, and this one's going to be really good. We've got some good stuff lined up, and last year we were real successful, and this is kind of how you and I came together, and with Cannon brought us along, and we kind of landed here at Talladega Nights doing the broadcasts and that, and so not only is this my home, it's Cannon's as well.
Yeah, like of all the places, like that were set up as like memorials and all the little tribute sites and stuff, it's like they do have this place as well, Like you can go, because I know you showed me the mural that the graffiti artist painted on the wall in his hometown, and that park was renovated because of them, and then we've got the little spot online too down here on NASCAR 2003 simulation.
A lot of people might think that's kind of silly, but this is my only format, man. Because the second tragedy that this family suffered. Hang on, I got to get in here and retire it.
Yeah, me too. But that's the thing, like they, it does seem strange. It's like it's a 20-year-old little thing that we're still playing here, this little NASCAR simulator, and we're using it to do what we do. But yeah, it's a thing, and people watch, people participate. It's got a following. So
yeah, and
super cool.
And a lot of Cannon's family are race fans. And Cannon, again, loved things that went fast. He loved riding his bike. He loved go-karts and, the NASCAR rides at festivals and fairs and stuff like that. And, so he would have liked this. You know what I mean? I think he does like it. You know what I mean? He likes riding with me, and I love having him along. And, so he's a really good fit for this. And like I said, this is the only format I have. So, if the media is going to ignore this family, I'm not going to. If they won't say his name, I sure am. So if we can just reach one person, we're successful. You know what I mean? To just get the word out, spread awareness.
That's the thing. People watch, and there's been lots of races on this thing and dedicated to a lot of people. So, it is a cool platform where you can dedicate a race to people, all the fallen drivers and in cases like Cannon's,
Yeah, this, there's a lot more to this than just being a video game.
It's a
We're
community.
about to go take the flag here.
Yeah, we could tell him to park it and talk some more, but we'll let that guy throw the green up there.
No, let's let them race, man. That's why they can. They've been waiting for this. Robert Breedlove is eligible actually for that 20, or for the, I keep saying the 22 because Greg Palmer drove it, but that Crocs car.
It still is the 22 until we figure out who wants it, who gets it. Then we can change that number.
Right. I don't. You know what? I was so late, and I apologize again for that. So I don't even really know who's all in this field. I'm sure I've raced with all of them at one point or another.
Oh, Hagley smacking the wall. Karl holding on to it.
So I was hungry.
Those guys just saved that thing. That could have been a catastrophe. Well, Brad was down there yesterday. It was snowing here yesterday, and Brad said he saw some.
You guys had snow?
We did our best to remove it.
In virtual Talladega had snow yesterday.
Oh.
And they're in turn 3. They must have missed a spot because everybody started slipping.
Yeah, they're lined up. Well, they're starting to go 2x2 a little bit back now, but that front 5 or 6 there is really. They started to pull away, and everybody checked up. Now I think they're settled back in.
Well, I guess we could run through the field to see who actually is here. We got Robert Breedlove leading the race right now. Mark Paglia behind him. Mike Mangialardi, Stephen Brandstetter, Ken Roberts, Ulysses the Wrecking Ball Sandoval. The 04 of BSR Silver Bullet. Got some of the BSR guys coming over. Jeffrey Elliott, Graham McDonald, Gary Mingus, Randy Claflin, Michael Moore, Craig Hagley, Kelly Cossey, Denny Carroll, falling back there to the 16th spot after that little slip. David Hubbard Jr., Sean Dotson in the 091, the 3 of Gary Heiser, Javier Negron, and Tom Dixon back from some problems he was having there.
He was having dinner?
Well, because he was out for a couple months. I think he had some health issues.
Oh, Tom Dixon. Yeah, in the Batman. Yeah, that's another kind of side story to Cannon's race. Because Tom Dixon, I'm glad I got this opportunity to talk about some of these guys because I race with them every week. So Tom Dixon, him and I just hit it off immediately when he showed me his Batman, his Bat Cave, you know what I mean? I call it. But
Brad would love that. Huge Batman fan. Yeah,
and he's got all Batman stuff like in his set up around his rig and stuff, and it's really, really cool. If you've ever seen the pictures of it, I think they're on the website still. But so he, and Cannon was a big Batman fan. That was one of his favorites. In fact, he went as Batman for Halloween. He was planning on it the year, he already had it set up. But so that's one of the key drivers for this race. And Ulysses Sandoval, we'll talk about him a little bit. You got to love the foreign kid, right?
Oh, man. He, like Brad said before, you can actually hear that guy smiling when he talks. He's so happy to be part of this league.
Yeah, he gets so excited, and and he's such a gentleman, and he's come a long way. He started with us on a keyboard. He was a keyboard jockey.
Yep.
And I start, everybody calls him you for, Ulysses, but I call him the foreign kid, like Red Foreman from the 70s show.
Yeah.
But I call him the foreign kid. But that, I mean that endearing. I really love Ulysses. He's a good kid. He's funny.
He fits in perfect here, and he can run with all these guys too, which is great. And Sean Dotson in the 091 back there sent him a spare steering wheel, and I'm surprised that Ulysses was able to adapt to that controller as quick as he did. I don't know if I could adapt from running keys that long instantly onto a physical steering wheel with pedals and everything. Like, that's a big switch.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, because I remember when I very first got this sim, I bought, a computer, the sim, and a racing wheel and pedals and stuff. Because I bought a computer just for this.
Oh, cool.
And and my first couple times out with it was like, wow, this is, getting it set up was a big part of it. And then once you get it down, though, I mean, this, in this Talladega racing, this is a whole nother animal, of course. But, when you get to places like Bristol and Charlotte and all the other tracks that, the sim offers,
Every track on the planet, pretty much.
Yeah, well now, yeah, with the way it's
all
come
the
along,
mods.
but
Crazy.
it looks like these guys to me are trying to spread out maybe to get to the bottom to start thinking about pitting already.
Yeah, I was going to ask Brad because I know you're down there wandering around the pits, Brad. What's the pit stops looking like today, Brad?
They know they only got one shot at getting it right, so they're trying to figure out when to do it. I don't know. Because you can pit at this point now, and you'll be first pit, and you're good for the rest of the race, right? Almost.
Well, I heard Mike Mangialardi that you supplied him with some lighter lug nuts, so that might be he might be getting disqualified for cheating for that.
That's quite possible too, right? But I mean, yeah, if you're gonna say it on the air, then of course we're gonna get caught.
Whoops!
With X-nay on the eating tray.
Yeah. Whoops.
But yeah, no, there's definitely no fuel line stretchers were involved in today's race whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
no cheating.
Everybody must pit once and make sure everybody gets gas because I'm keeping an eye out for those ones who aren't.
Well, you say that, but you know, like Jeffrey Elliott is the master of stretching a fuel tank. So I don't know. I know there's 19 and there's no way he can make it, but you know, if you say that, maybe he can.
No, there's no way. We ran a test last week. Yeah, we ran a test last week. There's no way. In fact, if a caution would fall just right, you'd have to stop twice. Actually.
Right. Oh, so, we got some guys going down there now.
Yeah. So I mean, look, they're 8 of 19.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know if these guys are possibly like Ken Roberts and Jeff Elliott and some of the guys that are already locked in. I don't know if they're backing up a little bit and maybe letting these guys race it out, or if this is just a strategy because they know they're locked in. So
you're just saying, they might not want to push the envelope. They might just want to let these guys do the thing and just
right
help.
I don't know. I didn't get a feeling from the drivers' meeting because I was so darn late. But it's been a fairly smooth race so far. We're halfway through here.
Interesting pit strategy by, who was it there? It was McDonald, I believe, went down with the 74 of Hubbard to pit. Like you said, they can make it to the end because you got 12 laps of gas.
Right, yeah.
They went very early on lap 8.
Well, if they can at least latch on to the next cycle, they'll be okay.
Right.
As far as keeping with the field. Winning's another thing with that strategy. I don't know.
So we're checking them now. They are together, so they are drafting each other. So that'll get them a little bit more RPM. But this pack is a big one. Like you said, though, once the cycle comes through, they will sync back up with each other, hopefully.
But yeah, they're still losing time.
Here come a few more.
Like if they're going to lose time if they're that far apart, though, right? If it's only the 2 of them compared to a stack of 10, like they're going to be losing seconds per lap.
Yeah. But if you look at those 2 that pitted early, they got a big jump because look how far out ahead they are. I mean, they'll get run down, but by the time they do, these other guys behind them will have to pit, and they'll still have that margin if they can stay together.
Yeah, if they can work together. Assuming most of these guys,
you got to have a buddy.
Yeah. 2 cars are better than 1, but 5 cars are better than 2. So
that's right. Yeah, 2 is going to be, that's a gamble there.
Looks like these guys might be pushing it one more lap. One more lap is about all they're going to be able to do, I do believe.
Yeah, you're getting maybe 12 to 13 at best. So, yeah, it'll be a one-stop race, at least. We know that. The guys that pitted early a lap or 2 ago, they might end up clutching it a little bit at the end. But
yeah, I'm assuming the rest of these guys have to come right now, and that's going to be probably 10 cars.
I don't know. That outside line's moving up, and there's.
Yeah, I'm just focused on Ken Roberts, and he just gained like 3 positions almost.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm watching. I am too. I'm watching, is that Jeffrey Elliott in front of him? I'm on the spectator view.
Wow, they're going to go one more round.
Oh, there's Breedlove coming in. He led the whole thing so far.
Breedlove has led every single lap. except
Yeah,
for that
who's
one.
that? Who's that back there in the 20?
Oh, Tom got spun out, and
He's
that
out. Caution's out. Oh, shoot.
that's
Well, that changes. Oh, 74 car.
Tom got turned from the front there. So these guys that are involved in this accident, they will have to pit. Focus on the 55 of Ken.
Oh, the 45, I believe, was trying to get down to the bottom to pit.
Yeah, he was
And just
going to
come
get
across
trapped
the
up
nose
there.
of Buckshot.
Most Buckshot, so we got the zeros.
That's a shame because it is moderate damage. So,
Yep, everything in this race is... Oh, Buckshot's driving that GIF car.
all right, well,
I
so
gotta
we'll
pay
see how
attention.
this works out. At least those two that pitted early, that group that pitted early, they will not go a lap down because I think they caught it just right. They weren't a lap down yet. So this is stacking up to be about a 5 or 3 lap shootout?
I think so. Green, white, checkered. Yeah, unfortunately, Kazi
That's
got
6
cut
left.
off by Tom. And that sent everybody for a loop. Cars, of course, that were in the pits will be fine.
I don't know what time it's getting to be. I know I got here just right at 7:30. If we have time, maybe we'll interview a couple of these guys.
Yeah, we can grab a couple of them. I wouldn't worry about like winners and stuff, but if you got like specific guys you want to talk to, we could do that.
Well, Jeff being one of those, I want to talk to Jeff, make sure we get him up here. What happened there?
Where am I here? Live mode. It says that Carol's in first. I'm trying to find the leader here. Brad just had to step out with his time difference.
Oh, okay.
It's getting to be barbecue time, I think, out west. He's 3 hours behind us being on the west coast, so.
Oh, okay. So he's actually 3 hours ahead of us.
He's behind. We're 3 hours ahead of him.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just had to leave because it was
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
I
It's
didn't mean
about.
to talk over him.
Oh no. I told him to. I said Brian will be here, and then we cover the race, and then if you got to go, you can go because I know it's right smack dab in the middle of his dinner time. Right about now, it'd be about 5 p.m.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
I see what's important to him.
Yeah,
Rude.
food and kids and all that stuff. But yeah,
He could have said goodbye. I mean, rude.
I think he just shot me a text on the side there. He goes, "I gotta get going, man." I was like, "Yeah, no problem." Yeah,
Okay.
we discussed this previously. I told him too. I said, like, Brian and I can handle this because I understand the time difference will affect his availability sometimes with these earlier broadcasts. So yeah, thank you, Brian, for joining us, and he'll
fine.
definitely be here on the 23rd because that's a later race anyway. So.
And again, I got to apologize for getting here. I mean, I told everybody to be here at 7:30, and then I pop in, a couple minutes after, and I had some issues after work. But anyway, I do value your guys' time. I really do. But I just, I had some issues, and Blaine, I got to thank you again, man, for getting on board with this race, especially, and having me up here. This is so much fun, getting to do this from this perspective again, because I race with these guys 3 nights a week, all these guys. And it's just so much fun to watch what they do from up here because it is so intense when you're in this thing, man. And, from Thursday night, I come up third, and I don't want to keep patting myself on the back, but that was the race we needed when we needed it. To come out on top in the points, for the overall championship points. That's something I've been wanting to do for the last 3 years for Canon, and finally, we can make that announcement maybe on the 23rd. But and we're still in the final 4 also for the Chase Trophy. So we got a couple shots at it yet.
Yeah, it's a big week, big month coming up, September. We've got this race tonight. We've got the team event. Or what do we got? We got I'm on Fire Championship, the finale there next Thursday. Team race on the 14th. The Back to the Future Championship race on the 19th. I don't even know what track they're running. The All-Star race the day after that. King of Kings on the 22nd. Cannon, HINNANT, and Gun Violence 100 on the 23rd. And, of course, it's September 25th. SMO Speedway with Josh's Eggs Touring Series. They've hired us to do that race. I race with those guys on Mondays. They run a lot of weird tracks. Last Monday we were at the Armory Digital Super Speedway.
Oh yeah, been there. That's a fun one.
Yeah, which is the same guy, Mystical, that made that new mod, the ICR mod.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is a fun mod. That with the digital dashboard and stuff. Yeah,
that guy's a wizard. The ICR mod, he made the recent the Pro Go-Kart mod just came out. He dropped that thing. He's got another mod in the works right now. It's about 75% finished. So Armory Digital is a big supporter of the community as well.
Oh yeah. In fact, the first time I raced there was one of my very first broadcast races that I was ever raced on TV. You probably don't remember a guy, Bruce Phelan, who passed away, and he used to put on a lot of specialty races like that, and we ran Armory Digital, the Rock and Roll 250, and everybody represented somebody from rock and roll, like Elvis, the Beatles,
cool.
All the AC/DC, whatever you wanted to do. Of course, I did the Canadian Trio Rush, of course.
Nice.
But I got to thank you guys again, Blaine, because that's why I want to get Jeff up here too, because you guys have been so accommodating and treating me so well over here, with letting me do these races. And I tend to jam this stuff down your throat sometimes, I know, but once a year these guys kind of let me have at it, and all you guys that come together, and it's a special event for a special little boy, and it's going to be fun, man. It's one of the reasons I race. Cannon is the reason that I actually race now. So I owe him a lot, and I owe him at least this. We'll give him a good race and have some fun with it, like he would have wanted.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race. What's the lap count on the main event that's coming up on the 23rd? Is it a full blown like 40, 50-ish lap race, 66?
I think we're going to do 38 laps, just like we do on Thursday nights.
Okay.
Because the only reason being is we're going to have a lot of pre-race stuff. The pre-race ceremonies and some video presentations, and I'm gonna work on, if I can get it done in time, maybe getting a couple of guest speakers to come in from Cannon's family, or somebody, if I can get them set up with TeamSpeak and working correctly. I'd like to invite somebody along, just from the family, just to see how we do it, and stuff like that. We'll go behind the scenes a little bit, and
that'll be cool.
All right, so who do we got here? The lights off?
Yes,
they are.
I'm seeing Breedlove leading with Wayne Choice. It looks like he's going to stay on the bottom.
All right, so he is eligible for the 12 spots. Well, really, I think all these guys are going to be. I think we switched it up a little bit, but I'd like to see one of the guys that were eligible win this, actually win the race and win that Crocs car for Cannon. That'd be pretty cool.
And Breedlove's been dominating this thing, but we've got Jeffrey Elliott in the YouTube chat saying, "I want it, Brian." So Jeffrey on that high line, he's not gonna pull out. He's gonna want that Crocs car also.
Oh no, he knows he's got Ken Roberts back there in his line too. So those guys are brilliant with the outside, and that 12 car back there, I'm actually looking at him. He can be a loose cannon sometimes, but a good pusher as well. All these guys are good, man. I trust each and every one of these guys when I'm racing with them. You know what I mean? And we wait till the end and pick and choose who we're going to go with and stuff sometimes. But man,
you see, that's a strong outside line behind Jeffrey. When you've got Claflin, Dotson, Ulysses, like you said, Ken, Michael Moore.
Yeah, Ulysses, the foreign kid, he's hungry for one too.
Yep. Here we go, green flag. This will be over with 3 laps to go. Sorry, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, green, white, and then checkered, right?
Should be.
Or is this green and white together?
No, this will be green, white, checker, because the white will be coming around here to start 19.
Right, yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be good. This is intense for me to even being here just watching them, because I want them to hold it together and have a green finish.
Yeah, and I get to.
the next
I
flag
miss
ends the race anyway, so here they go.
Yep. White will be in the air this time by the stripe. One more. What is it about? Almost just over 1.5 to go, or 1.25 now. This track's so fast. You say half, they're already through the tri-oval.
I don't think Breedlove's going to get it up, and that second line did not form. I don't know, maybe it is starting to now.
Yeah, they got one more lap to do
now.
it. A third line forming. Jeffrey found Ken. Trying to get that third line moving.
That 41 car, that Denny Carroll, he's a tough customer, man. He's.
Oh, there we go.
Who's somebody around?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're still racing it out. I don't know who went around.
Ulysses, a whole bunch of guys.
Oh, shoot. I still got it on the leaders. It's going to be close.
It is going to be close. The Highline's trying to get a run. They're not going to have enough.
Oh, man. They know they got to race to the flag. Uh-oh. There goes another one.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jeffrey Elliott upside down. The leaders keep going.
And there it is.
Breedlove.
Yep.
Breedlove's good. Well, maybe not. I don't know. They got 4 on top.
You must not be in live.
Oh, my bad.
Robert
You're
got
right.
it.
You're right. Okay. I'm sorry, because I backed it up to look at that replay earlier.
Yeah, there was a big tussle back there.
I'm out of practice, Blaine. Sorry about that.
No problem. There's got to be I don't even know the key combination to kick it back live. I just clicked the button, but it's probably number 9 or something. But so according to this, Robert Breedlove wins the race. He gets to drive the Crocs car on the 23rd.
That's right. Yep. So nice. I got to get with Rodney Sullins, our painter, and he's just going to change the number and name on it. And yeah, it's he should be proud, man. That's one of Cannon's biggest things. Was his Crocs. In fact, Bonnie, his mother. I kind of don't like the one to be. I don't know how I would say this, but whenever they have events for Cannon, like his vigils and his birthday and stuff, she'll bring his shoes with her and set them up there for people to see and touch, and which is really a cool thing,
Yeah.
Wow. So there goes Breedlove's doing his thing.
We're trying to focus on Robert Breedlove, but there's a lot of smoke.
I got him on TV1.
Me too. Can't see nothing. TV2, nothing. That's what we call
man, thanks
a smoke
again.
show.
Congratulations to. I got to see the finish. Well, I can't see the finishing order until I get the export, which I don't think I can get now. No, I can't. Shoot.
We can go back there and see what happened. An instant replay here. See what happened in that last lap. That took a lot of cars out. The back half of the field.
Okay, so everybody that's here, actually, even the ones that crashed out, everybody that is here is now locked in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we've got a couple more to pick, I think, and go over to look and see. But anybody who raced tonight, but real proud of Breedlove, man. He did such a great job in that race. Did everything he had to.
17 laps. He led 17 laps. And then Denny Carroll led 1, and Kelly Cossey led the other one. Kelly, Tom Dixon, and Graham McDonald all were forced to retire.
Elliot,
Mr. Elliott.
Hey, Jeff, I'm glad you came.
Hey, that would have been a crazy, exciting 3 wide there. It started on the inside, kind of pressure to the outside. But hey, we saved exports.
Okay.
We saved the replay, all the admins. So we just want to know, are we good or set for the remaining of the night, or we need to hold on a little longer?
Yeah, just a little bit longer. We're going to talk to you, and we don't need to, talk to any of the drivers, I think. But Jeff, I wanted to have you up here and just thank you, and Blaine as well again, for keeping on board with me through Cannon's racing, and and really supporting me through this stuff, and giving us a home to hold his races and stuff, because we want to make this an annual thing. for him to end gun violence. You know what I mean? And keep Cannon's name on it. You know, so I'm so appreciative of that. And I just, you know, I love you guys. I love racing here every week. And this is kind of the couple of weeks or days or whatever that you guys kind of let me do my thing. You know what I mean? With, you know, with Cannon's race and all, and everything you contribute to it. And just, you know, all the drivers that participate. Whoop.
Oh,
What happened?
The winning screen came on and blasted my ears out. But you know, again, Jeffrey, thank you so much, man, for keeping all this whole thing together. Not just Cannon's race, but you know, all these specialty races you come up with, the series, you know, all the recruiting that you do, and what you know. I mean, everybody's helped out, but what you've built this thing into, man, is just. I've said it before. It's sim racing gold, man. This is just the very best place to race. It's been the most fun. I've been the most successful here as far as my racing and otherwise, you know what I mean? So we had a successful Cannon race last year. We're going to do it again this year, man. And just, Jeffrey, thank you so much, man, for everything that you helped out with on this thing.
well, I'd like to start off first. How you feeling?
A little better today. I had some issues during work yesterday and today, but kind of muscled through it. They let me go actually a few minutes early, but then I had some issues with other things and trying to get home on time. So I apologize for that again, for being late. And, you know, this is my event, and, you know, I need to be here, and I'm not really feeling 100%, but we're going to muscle through it and get this done for the boy.
Oh, definitely. Well, on a funny note, you probably stopped off at that house I saw on Facebook and gave that girl a hug. I don't know who it was, but that was a pretty killer video.
That's actually Jeffrey. That's actually Cannon's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was in North Carolina. Yeah, then that was actually, I met her. I was told the story earlier. I met her exactly 1 year to the day that Cannon passed. So, and they, you know, you'll see it on the broadcast, but I talked about how inviting they were and how welcoming they were to me, and just treated me like royalty. You know what I mean? And they were just it's such a nice family. And, you know, this tragedy, we want to give back. You know, I was talking about, you know, this is the only format that we have. If the media, mainstream media, is going to ignore this family and others like Cannon, you know, we can't do that. You know, but this is the only format we have, you know, is social media and this racing thing, which Cannon would have loved. You know, his whole family were fans, and, you know, so we're set. Robert Breedlove is going to drive Cannon's Crocs car that, since Greg Palmer won't be participating, he's got another event to go to or something that night. But anyway, that was a big part of, you know, Cannon's puzzle to
you know,
I wish I had a
better dream, and I thought I was talking to Cannon. He said I get to drive the Crocs car, but you know what? That's fine. I give it up to the boy. But hey, let me speak on behalf of Talladega Nights. We here, you know, this is our second event for Cannon, and it's such a tragic story. Unfortunately for this young little man, he was a cute boy. He seemed like he had a great family. You know, I read a lot about it, learned a lot about it. Unfortunately, this happens all over the world every day. And cities and around this country and the world, and you know, it's a way to get the message out about gun violence. I'm not a big fan of guns myself. I live right here in North Carolina. This is good old boy land, but you know, it's not really the gun that kills people. As for what they say, it's the people that actually uses them. But you know, it's unfortunate things happen in life, but it's such a sad, tragic, and so we want to do this for Cannon and his family, especially, you know, and obviously for you. Great passion for this young man, and we're delighted to honor this race and everybody's behalf. So at Talladega Nights, so we'll do whatever we can to make the best race possible. Like it was an experiment last race. I thought it was a great, you know, production.
It was very successful.
And,
yeah,
this one will be even better. So we got the best guy right there named Blaine Donlan. He's the best at this. This is why.
Shucks.
You know,
Jeff, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you know a little bit of more of the backstory, In my opinion, it was actually Cannon that brought Blaine and I together somewhat, because when I met Blaine was just after I learned about Cannon, and him and I started racing together, and he started doing live streaming. We took it from there and ran with it, because, you know, anytime that I would get to talk on his stream, I would mention Cannon, you know, and he was on my car and stuff. So we've done actually 3 or 4 of these races now, Blaine and I together, for Cannon. And
we're
this
getting
is,
really
you know,
good at it.
Yeah, and I was saying that, you know, this is kind of where we landed. Talladega Nights, we want to make it an annual thing here, because this is now our home. You know what I mean? And that was the other announcement I wanted to make. I'll make it again on the 23rd, but these guys have went ahead and put Fluid Studios on a billboard at this track, at our home track. And this is Mooresville, North Carolina. So this would be considered Cannon's home track too. And one in the grass down near the end of Pit Road, you'll see my Fluid Studios thing. I want to dedicate that that insignia to Cannon himself. I want him to have that.
Well, you know what?
I'm sorry, that was my crew chief calling.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, and thanks to John too for all the awesome logo work, and it's wild.
Just want to say, John Godfrey surprised us, all of us, with this amazing track.
That was it. It came out of nowhere because he sent me an email asking about like the logos and stuff for Tarnation TV and the Talladega Nights, because I designed that one as well. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. Here, I figured he was just gonna put them on cars, and then 2-3 months later, he drops this bomb and he completely retextures the entire track. It was so cool.
Well, heck, I was looking for me, dude. I'm looking for Jeffrey somewhere in those thousands of fans or in a car, but you know, maybe I still got to find that Easter egg, you know, somewhere. But anyways, back to a serious note. Yeah, Brian, we're very honored to do this and with you and Blaine, and for the purpose. And like I said, we started out with 9 drivers a year and 8 months ago. And here we are today. It's crazy. I work my tail off. Every day I live and breathe Talladega Nights. It's not an easy thing by no means. I don't mean to say that in a negative way, but it's hard. I didn't know there's a bunch of old farts like you and me still out here racing this game. So kudos to everybody. 184 drivers have came out to Talladega Nights one time or another since the day we started. So kudos to everybody that's come out here, and everybody that takes part of what we do here, and the drivers that are going to race in this race. And I want to put one more thing in, because I got to get going. I like to drive that silver and orange one if you're not going to drive it.
Jeffrey, I would say yes, but I was really hoping that you would drive the car you drove last year, the Gillette Athletic Center.
Oh, I can do that. I can do that.
Because that, believe it or not, that is a big piece of Cannon's story. And that's an important piece to this race, and that's why I wanted you in it last year, and I wanted you to race it again this year.
Well, you know what? I even got on the chat while I was racing. Don't tell nobody. I know we're live, but don't tell nobody, Blaine, that I was actually doing the big U and Zach Roberts talking while I'm driving. I want that car. But anyways, I'll drive any car. I'll be honored to drive anything, buddy. So kudos to you. I thought it was a pretty successful turnout for the qualifiers to get in. Yeah. So, and it was a pretty exciting race. So.
It was fun to be up here again. And, you know, just to touch on what you were saying, you know, Cannon has, for me personally, kind of turned this race. You know, we did justice for Cannon, and his killer has now been convicted. So this is, you know, turned into a bigger picture, end gun violence. You know what I mean? And just end gun violence. That's the bigger picture for him with his name on it. And I'm just really proud of everybody's efforts putting into this race. And I know he's smiling on us.
Well, he's gonna be looking down about 30 cars with all kinds of cool things on them, Cannon.
Oh yeah.
I know you're watching, brother.
All for him.
So we're doing this for you, your family, and we'll all be united together someday again soon. So I'll end it on that note. Brian, I'm gonna get up there and get this race settled for Shake and Bake, and
10-4. I'll be with you guys shortly.
All right, guys. Thanks, Blaine, for what you do, brother.
All day long, buddy. It's always fun.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Blaine, we can wrap it up for now. We've got our drivers, and the list will be coming out on social media, and some promos and different things. And, you know, the races that you're going to be covering, I'll probably be doing some video work and stuff. So if you need anything on that end, let me know, and because I'm involved, man.
Yep.
It's been such a pleasure racing here, and getting to do this again every now and again is really a treat, man. It's really fun.
No, it's crazy how long we've been doing the broadcasting thing and how we evolved it to what it is here now. So it's cool to have you back in the commentator chair. But hey, man, you got races to race, and
I do.
I might I've been thinking about putting the broadcast away for a little bit just so I can get back racing too, because it's fun from both sides, but you really do miss the other side when you're in the car. You're like, it'd be cool to broadcast, but when you're broadcasting, it's like, it'd be cool to be driving a car. But you know what? That's a good problem to have.
I'll tell you what, man. It's so hard to show it during the broadcast, but like last Thursday night, as an example, running up there in the top 5, knowing that I'm going to clinch this thing, and just those last 5-6 laps are just so intense, man. I mean, I was literally on the verge of throwing up. I was so nervous and just shaking. You know what I mean? Shaking like a leaf. And man, it's you think to yourself, man, this is so horrible. I hope it lasts.
It is weird. It's like it's edge of your seat white knuckle in a racing simulator, which is, it sounds weird, but when you're racing with 40 people, and all these guys have been playing this thing for 20 years, and some of them have only been playing it for a couple of years. There's just so many different driving styles, and you never know what's going to happen. And you're holding your breath. Like I know Ulysses, when we talked to him last week when he was the first chase driver, it sounded like he was finally began breathing again, because he was literally probably holding his breath for 2 straight minutes those last 2 laps. But and it's that exciting. If you're that into something, hey, this is a good hobby to have. And
yeah, and he's fairly new too, and it's fun to watch him get so excited. And Zach Roberts, he's been racing since he was like 4 or 5 years old. In the go-karts, from what I understand, he's turned out to be, like, at his home track there, I think Ken told me he won like 9 of 10 season races. Something like some crazy statistics this kid has, and such a nice kid, and just polite. He's a gentleman. You know what I mean? I just, a lot of these guys have kind of, taken him in, so to speak, and he's looking forward to getting those rookie stripes taken off. I think Ulysses is too, but those guys, you can see they're kind of closer to age than we are, but they have fun with this, and that's the name of the game, is just having fun with it. It can get intense, and tempers can get heated, but
that's the great thing. That just shows how passionate everybody is.
Right.
Like for you and I, who've been playing this thing for 20 years, and for guys who've been playing it for 1 year, 5 years, or 6 months, throw us all on the track together and let's go.
It's crazy. And then once you gain some experience, like I said, I race with these guys every week for the last at least year. I'm racing with them at the same track, in the same cars, so you gain experience as far as who you can race with, who to kind of stay away from, or who you want to help. Rivalries form and alliances form, and and it's been so interesting, man. This, Talladega racing is just a different animal from, it's 200 miles an hour, huge packs, 3 wide, just it's intense. I can't even think of a better word for it.
Lights off. There we go. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, there's no way to describe it. Like, there's not even, I don't know. We just all love it so much, right?
All right, man. Well, with all that said, thank you again, man, for putting this on, and for covering for us. This has been a real treat, man. It's going to be fun. And on the 23rd, we're going to, I'll probably be in here with you a little bit at the beginning, doing the pre-race stuff and all that. We'll work all that out behind the scenes, and we'll take care of it, man. And that's the reason we're going 38 laps, is to keep the race itself a little bit shorter. You know what I mean? It'll be 3x2, a couple pit stops, and some good racing, but it's exhibition. So it's going to be fun. I want to put all of Cannon's stuff on display, and just, do it for him, and to end gun violence, man. End gun violence. That's the key.
Yep.
I would reach out to everybody within the sound of my voice to get involved, get, you know, with your local authorities, your schools, and ask them what you can do to end gun violence.
Yeah. That's it. It's a cause that nobody can disagree with. No sane person can disagree with. So
Right,
it's a
yeah.
great cause, man. It's going to be fun doing it with you once again.
And, you know, and for this whole thing, for Canon, I'm going to end with this, Blaine. I'm going to tell all our viewers and all the drivers and everybody, again, within the sound of my voice, hug your kids a little tighter and, you know, and keep them safe. That's it.
That's it, man. Yeah. Thanks again. We'll see you guys on the 23rd for the main event. Keep your stick on the ice.
10-4. Hey, can you throw me out of here? I'm still in the server. Or no,
gotcha.
you know what? I'll jump out.
Oh, you want me to move you up into the team speak there?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm actually involved in this championship tonight's chase race 1. I think I got to beat 8 of these guys or something like that, but I
Well,
forget
good.
what it is. No,
Good.
I'm up
Good
there
enough.
actually in this one. Yeah, I'm like 3rd or 4th in the points here, so I got a good chance. But yeah,
Sweet.
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Always fun. Have a good race tonight. Good luck.
10-4, buddy.